Hey, welcome back, everybody, here to the Sports Talk Nation. Michael Cohen here with you. Let's talk a little baseball here, shall we? As the Yankees clinch their spot in the postseason, they are going to go to the AL wildcard game after outlasting the Tampa Bay Rays by a score of 1-0. Aaron Judge with the game-winning hit in the bottom of the ninth innings. As all Yankee fans saw earlier this afternoon, Yankees again win 1-0. Really was a tight game, and it was a game that was emblematic of what has been a really crazy season here for the Yankees. I mean, think about this for a second. This Yankee team had a lot of ups, had a lot of downs throughout the course of this season. At one point, they were under 500 a couple of times this year. Then they had a couple of big hot streaks. They had a hot streak in May where they went 23-9. Remember then in August they had the 13-game winning streak where it looked like this team was going to take off, maybe even catch Tampa Bay for the division. That didn't happen when they cooled off. It's been a wild season all the way around. And why not going into the last weekend of the year, where the Yankees had just come off of beating up on the Toronto Blue Jays and the Red Sox, for that matter, on the road. Looked like the Yankees had control of their destiny as far as getting the wild card was concerned, maybe even getting at Yankee Stadium. Lose 2 games to the Tampa Bay Rays, and it basically all came down to the last day. You had Seattle, you had Toronto, Boston, and the Yankees all vying for playoff positioning, and the Yankees get it done get it done with the win. Even though Toronto won their game earlier today, didn't matter at all. It's going to be the Yankees and the Red Sox who also won their game against the Washington Nationals by a score of 7-5. And that will be the wild card matchup in Boston. So the Yankees are going to go head up there. Anyways, it is fitting that you have someone like an Aaron Judge come up in a big spot. And Judge has had an incredible year, whether it be Giancarlo Stanton, who's had an incredible second half since the trade deadline, especially since the trade deadline when the Yankees made the moves for Anthony Rizzo, and Joey Gallo, and enforced Stanton into the outfield. He's had an incredible run, but also Aaron Judge has had an incredible season as well, and an incredible run, 39 home runs, 98 RBIs, and it's fitting the Yankees' best player wins the ball game for them in the bottom of the ninth inning. But also, let's not forget Gio Urshela, who made that spectacular play diving into the dugout in the top of the 7th inning for a big out. The Yankees went all out in this one. They've been going all out for a while. Think about this, folks, for a second. This was a team that was 41-41 on July 4th. 41-41. And all the talk at the time from a lot of Yankee fans, and I know a lot of friends who are Yankee fans, was that Aaron Boone needs to go, that the Yankees need to clean house, that it's time for Brian Cashman to go. You had Hal Steinbrenner come out there and issue missives saying that the team needed to pick it up. And this team went out there and won 51 ball games from July 4th onward. And they got themselves into the playoffs. Now, how long they're going to be there remains to be seen. But they're going to go into Boston against the Red Sox team that they played better against of late, including sweeping that series up in Boston just last week. And the Yankees are certainly going to have a pitching advantage, if you will, with the game going to be, since the game will be Garrett Cole against Nathan Eovaldi. And Eovaldi, who pitched well for the Red Sox years ago in the World Series in 2018, he has struggled against the Yankees this year. In fact, the last 4 games he has started against the Yankees, Boston has wound up losing, including his last start where he got shelled, gave up 7 runs over 2 2/3 innings in a game on the 24th of September. The Yankees won by a count of 8-3. So the Yankees do have his number, and the Yankees are now going to counter with Garrett Cole, who is coming off of a rough outing himself in Toronto last week. It'll be interesting to see how he pitches. Gave up 5 runs over 6 innings against Toronto. His last outing before that was that game against the Red Sox on the 24th. The Yankees won again 8-3. He pitched well, gave 5 hits, 3 runs over 6 innings. It's been an up and down year for Cole. It's been an up and down year for the Yankees. You really don't know what they're going to be from one moment to the next. But here they are. They are in the postseason nonetheless. Something that certainly the Mets can't say for themselves after their start to the season where they were in first place for 103 days and still ended up being double digits out of first place by the time the season came to an end for them. We'll talk more about the Mets in another video. I got a lot to talk about with them. But for right now, it's time for the Yankee fan to celebrate, for the Yankee fan to be excited that their team has at least another day of baseball to go here in the 2021 season, as they'll go up against the Red Sox. And, of course, the winner of this game heads over to Tampa Bay to take on the Rays. And we all know the Yankees and Rays certainly have a history of late. And, of course, those two teams, if the Yankees do win, did meet in the ALDS last year. So it's going to be a tough sledding for this Yankee team, a team that, outside of Cole, doesn't have a lot of pitching for that matter, especially from a starting standpoint. But they have found ways to scrap innings together. They found ways to win games with their bullpen, and of course they've gotten big hits and big performances from guys like Judge and Stanton. And those two guys are going to have to be key in that wild card game, and for as long as the Yankees postseason run is going to go. So again, leave your thoughts below, folks. A happy Sunday for that matter. How is this even possible? The Jets win, the Giants win, the Yankees win. All smiles here in New York City. We'll talk to you next time here on Sports Talk Nation. Remember, like and subscribe here to the channel here on Sports Talk Nation here on YouTube, and also follow us on Twitter at OpenMikeNJ and Facebook.com/OpenMikeProgram. Talk to you next time.